In 1804, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark embarked on a historic expedition to the Pacific Ocean, becoming the first educated Americans to encounter indigenous tribes on the Great Plains. As they approached the eastern side of the mountains, they encountered the Shoshoni tribe. 60 Shoshoni men on horseback charged toward them, prepared for battle with bows, arrows, and long poles with sharp blades. They used the horses as cover, lying beneath or on the sides of the animals. The horses displayed various designs painted in blue, black, red, and other colors, each holding a special meaning for the owner. Realizing that Lewis and his group were not prepared for war, the Shoshone slowed their horses but remained cautious. Lewis signaled peace by raising his open hand, and the Shoshone chief reciprocated the gesture. Both parties approached each other, communicating through gestures. The Shoshone people wore clothing made of animal hides, primarily from deer or American bison. Their shirts featured patterns that, like the designs on the horses, told stories. Each pattern represented battle participation, horse raids, or acts of life-saving. Captain Lewis smiled at the Shoshone people and repeated the gesture of peace, which was reciprocated. Despite the language barrier, Lewis and the Shoshone chief communicated through gestures. A young Shoshone man approached Lewis and dismounted his horse. He stood tall and strong, with long black hair adorned with a feather and animal fur securing some strands. His arms displayed long lines, each representing a battle. As Lewis departed from the Shoshone, the young man did not add another line to his arms. The Shoshone tribe was one of many indigenous tribes inhabiting the vast American Great Plains. Even today, the Great Plains stretch across a vast expanse, extending from Canada to Mexico and from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. This heartland of the United States features large rivers, deserts, mountain ranges, and incredibly flat areas that allow visibility for hundreds of kilometers. The millions of square kilometers of this land were once covered in lush grasslands. The grasslands provided sustenance for the Native Americans' way of life on the Great Plains, thanks to the American bison. These majestic creatures served as a vital source of food, clothing, shelter, and tools for the tribes. The bison held significant religious importance, particularly for the Lakota tribe and others who believed in the interconnectedness of all living beings and had a deep spiritual connection with nature. For the Lakota people, the bison symbolized strength, abundance, and harmony. They utilized every part of the animal, wasting nothing. The meat nourished them, the hides were used for clothing and shelter, the bones were crafted into tools and weapons, and even the sinew served as sewing material. The Lakota developed sophisticated hunting techniques, such as the buffalo jump, to ensure successful hunts. They held ceremonies and rituals to honor the bison, expressing gratitude for its sacrifice and seeking its spiritual guidance and blessings. However, the arrival of European settlers and the westward expansion of the United States had a devastating impact on the bison population and the Native American way of life on the Great Plains. Mass hunting for hides, sport, and to undermine Native American sustenance nearly drove the bison to extinction by the late 19th century. The loss of the bison disrupted traditional lifestyles, led to the decline of cultures and spiritual practices, and forced tribes to rely on reservations and government assistance for survival. In recent years, efforts have been made to restore and preserve the bison population and revitalize Native American traditions. Bison herds are being reintroduced to specific areas, and there is a growing recognition of the importance of indigenous knowledge and practices in managing and conserving these iconic animals. Today, the Lakota people and other Native American tribes continue to honor and celebrate the bison as a symbol of their cultural heritage and resilience, reaffirming their deep connection to the land, the natural world, and their ancestral roots.